Hi, welcome to EvilBunny Gaming. And yes, it is indeed RuneScape that you see. It's a bit of a jump from certainly what I've been uploading recently. Um, Only I decided to log into it. I've not played in years. I decided to log into it again the other day. Um, and sort of two things happened. One, I realized I hadn't got a clue what I was doing anymore. And two, there's no way to reset accounts in RuneScape. You can't reset, there's no character reset, there's no do-over, etc. So I thought, what would be interesting is, let's do a hardcore Ironman mode. No, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. No, I have not done this before. Yes, it will probably go horribly, horribly wrong. As I understand it, Hardcore Ironman mode is effectively no trading, no GE, permadeath. So when you die, you lose the account, not just the dead character that you can spawn again. It's gone. The whole account is null, void, and dead. Which is literally what all these pop-ups are in the background. Is just when I was creating characters, it was just like, "Are you sure? Are you really sure?" So plan, yes, let's do a Hardcore Ironman mode. I am not expecting this to go smoothly. There will be things I do that I probably shouldn't have done. There will be far, far more efficient ways of doing something than I will probably end up doing. But I liked the idea of, as effectively a new player, yes, I know bits and bobs about RuneScape because I used to play it years ago, but as an effectively new player who's not played in years, I love the idea of the extra challenge that an Iron Man hardcore would bring. Completely self-sufficient in just about every. You can't buy anything. You have to craft, make, gather, do everything yourself. Pretty much solo adventurer. I kind of like the idea of that. Obviously, in the background, apologies that this is all post commentary, but I couldn't think of a better way of doing the introductions and have all the setup stuff in the background. It just seemed pointless to literally try and explain all this while having to read and type and do all the setup screens. So yeah, so that was my character. It's Hardcore Iron Man, as you saw. It's just a case of setting up the UI, which obviously, it can take a while, and I didn't see the point in actually having you guys watch that lifetime. This first episode is pretty much going to be a setup and plan of action sort of episode. There's not a lot going to be done as such in it. Obviously, I'm just mucking around with the UI in the background now. But the ultimate plan is just get the account set up, get everything ready, and start beginning to form a plan of what I want to do on the account. Obviously, it's the key difference, as I say, is it's going to be self-sufficient. So I have got to get everything myself, and you cannot die. I'm aware there are certain items that, once obtained, allow the account not to be deleted. I can't remember exactly. I think it's Jar of Light or something, one of them. It's 100k from one of the vendors, and it basically means that if you die on a hardcore Iron Man account, rather than lose the account, it just differs to a normal Iron Man account. That's effectively all that happens, is it stops the whole permadeath scenario. Still locks you out of the GE and all that sort of stuff, but it just gets rid of the ability to lose the account. Which allows me to touch on one other thing. Obviously, I'm probably going to member the account at some point for the extra skills, the extra functionality it brings, the extra quest lines, etc. However, early on, I do not see a point in adding a members to the account. All the skills I'm going to need early on are base skills for the free accounts. All the access to the stuff that I believe I'm going to need is, again, not related to being a member. So we'll start with that premise and see how it goes. for the obvious reason that, you know, if I were to get members on this and then do something stupid and accidentally die to a troll on the first mission, that's kind of just a waste of money. Not only that, but then you'd have to set up another account, you'd have to members that again. Yeah, it just makes no logical sense to me, at least until I've got that jar of life, etc. In the background, obviously, as you can see, UI's set up. Got my UI sorted. I've just grabbed the Demon Home ring, so we can do dungeoneering straight off the bat. I remember the full complexity dungeoneering floors are really quite fun, and then they can provide small amounts of XP to all skills at a relatively balanced rate across the board. Plus, I kind of like doing dungeoneering. I've been watching some videos on it, etc., and it's kind of where it sort of stemmed from. Is I really did enjoy the dungeoneering side of things. Obviously, it will be a little dull at first doing floor 1, complexity 1, because that doesn't really give you anything. However, once the complexity is unlocked, I can then just blitz through the floors. However, we get back to prime point number 1. Everything has to be provided self-sufficient. Again, one of the reasons that dungeoneering works very well is because you only have to be self-sufficient in a very small, limited window of time. And that limited window of time is just for the dungeon floor that you're completing. You can spend as little or as much time in there as you like, trying to maximize and minimize rooming. So in the background, what I've done is I've literally just gone. I don't intend to do many quests, if any at all, unless there is a very specific reason to do so. Mainly due to the fact that obviously there are quite a few quests locked behind the members barrier. And the other side of it is that questing, to me, never really been a fan of it anyway. But let me know what you think. If there's enough sort of consensus to say that you would like to see some of the major quest lines, I will pick up those quest lines once I've got members. In the meantime, though, what I've done is I've just grabbed a tiny little bit of tin and copper just to create a bronze strongbox. And what that is, I don't know whether the strongbox has been out for a while or whether the boxes were actually introduced as part of the smithing rework. But what it allows you to do is store an unknown amount. I can't remember whether there is an upper limit to it or not, but you can basically store the raw materials that make bronze bars in that box, which means I can go mining in that cave seemingly indefinitely without having to constantly go to the bank and deposit ores or constantly go to the smithing thing and melt down the ores. I can just continuously farm and mine, which leads me to my sort of plan of action number 1. I want to start smashing through some mining and smithing levels. Despite the fact I don't have the combat or defense levels to wield or wear half of the stuff I intend to get, I do want to blitz through mining and smithing a good way through, possibly to 30, something like that, just so I can prep the sets of gear. It's one of the downsides of having to be self-sufficient. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm effectively stuck behind my own skill wall. I would rather take the whole game slower, take the storyline slower, take the evolution of my character slower, and then when I come to do things, actually be able to do them and not, you know, be too behind on skills to gear up properly, risk dying, all that sort of stuff. Just one of those things, unfortunately. The Ironman Hardcore accounts. I say I've never done one of these before, but given the fact it's permadeath and the account is just gone if you fail, failure really isn't an option, so I really intend to be planning most of my steps out. There'll be a few things, as I say, which I have hopelessly got wrong. I will do things maybe in a horrifically inefficient manner. I'll miss out on things that I should obviously have done. But I haven't played RuneScape in years. I've never done an Ironman Hardcore challenge before. So this is going to be a big learning curve, and I'm hoping it's not going to be a painful one. But it should should be good. I'm really looking forward to it. But yes, it's time to start the skill up curve. So sit inside this cave at the start location and start grabbing me some copper. I do seem to have a friend in the background who just obviously just joined the cave as well. But yes, so that's the plan anyway. I'm going to start smashing through some smithing. Hopefully I'll get some geodes as well for some uncut gems, which will help with crafting levels when I stockpile them. It'll help with actually making things like rings and necks later before I can enchant them. We'll see how it goes. This could be a horrible, horrible mistake. It could go horribly wrong. I'm hoping it won't. And I'm hoping you guys and girls will point out, shall we say, where I'm going wrong. Or where I could do things better, potentially. But, anyhow, this is the series, and we shall see how it pans out. So, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.